Where our economy is concerned, Belizean stability has now become a given. It is not just that there is continuing GDP growth, headlined now by the magnificent 8.7% in the second quarter of this year. It is also that our monetary and fiscal house, owing much to the signal triumph of our super bond renegotiation, is very much in order. Our dollar is strong. Our foreign reserves are the highest they have ever been. Of our two mainstays, tourism continues to grow phenomenally. And while agriculture by its very nature presents an always more nuanced picture and will never be completely free from volatility, sugar is better than it has been in years. Bananas are steady, and citrus, aided by government's intervention, is rebounding. It is in light of all this that, almost unique in the Caribbean, we have been able to give teachers and public officers a 9% raise this year, with an almost certain likelihood of additional increases both next year and in 2016.
Economic reform is about building a creative, innovative, dynamic economy which attracts investment and creates jobs. In 2014, no one credibly questions the importance of investment, both domestic and foreign, to national development. The challenge is to attract investment that is compatible with the goals and aspirations we have set for ourselves as a nation and people. Similarly, by focusing on sustainable employment, we assure sustainable economic growth and development.
Now, I listened stoically to the arrows and barbs that came just before me. But once more, I am resolved not to respond in kind. Tu quoque will never do. And nothing should provoke or excuse any dissent from dignity and statesmanship on Independence Day. So if I look back now and point to certain things, it is not as rejoinder or one-upmanship. It is merely to underline how far our Belize has come. Accordingly, and purely for purposes of comparison, I want to recollect the time just under 10 years ago when the last administration was also at midpoint of its second consecutive term. And in as politically uninflected a manner as possible, I state the facts. In 2004-2005, the fiscal deficit was 9% of GDP. In contrast now, it is a mere 1.7%. In 2005, inflation was 3.7%. Now it is just 1.3%. Our foreign reserves at the close of 2005 was 70.6 million. Now it is just about $1 billion with a B. In 2005, all important capital spending had shrunk to 92 million. Now, for fiscal year 2013-2014, we spent $194 million. The external public debt had surged to 90% of GDP in 2005-2006, costing $215 million that year in debt service payments. Now it is only 62% of GDP and cost us only $92 million to service in fiscal year 13-14. In 2005, the weighted average lending rate at the commercial banks was 14.3%. Today, that rate has dropped almost 5 points to 9.8% for new loans, and with residential mortgages available from the National Bank for as low as 5.5%. As well, in 2005, taxes had been increased on 2 occasions. First, by $90 million, including the raising of business tax and the tripling of the environmental tax, and then by hiking the excise on beer and liquor. Now, not only are there no new taxes, but government has instead repeatedly given back to citizens through one form of relief or other. That trend continues today, as you will shortly hear. So, ladies and gentlemen, you get the picture. Our economy is strong, all indicators are solid, and GOB is able to pay its way and generously foot the country's development bill without burdening Belizeans.
I say to every Belizean, in cities, towns, villages, in sugarcane fields, in citrus factories, on banana farms, on the seas fishing, in the tourism sector, in our schools and churches, in our health institutions, to public officers and the workers preserving our rainforests and marine reserves, keeping our communities clean, caring for our elderly and disabled, to the youth of Belize, I say to each of you, rise up, awake, it is now tomorrow's noon, and each and every one of us has our part to play in building on the hopes, dreams, and aspirations of independence.